Says, good evening, sisters. My dad passed away in 2010. My mom remarried after 3 years, and we have been living together as a family. My stepdad always treated us like we were his blood. I'm 23 years and in level 200, whilst my younger sister is 16 and in JHS 3. Now, to my issue. A month ago, I chanced on WhatsApp conversations between my stepdad and sister. To my surprise, they've been sexually involved since January this year. I couldn't believe it, so I decided to be more observant. We live in a 3-bedroom house. My uncle sleeps in one room, my parents in another, and my sister and I share the last one. Would you believe that 2 weeks ago, my stepdad snuck into our room to have sex with my sister? I pretended to be asleep, and I couldn't believe this was actually happening. I couldn't tell anyone because I was so disgusted by what I saw. This happened every other night. 2 nights ago, he came again, and this time I turned and lay on my back. He immediately hid behind the sofa. I lay still for a while, and then he left our room. I don't know how to break this news to my mom. I don't want it to come from me. Is there no way I can alert her without it coming directly from my mouth? Please help me, sisters. Wow. Claudia, you want to take this one first?
Ooh. Yes. This is creepy.
Yeah.
And it's just making my skin crawl, like ew. But my first instinct is that he should get evidence.
Yes.
Because for this, he needs more than I saw you do it. So even if it means taking a picture or something, he needs concrete proof. Because often case, and excuse me if I generalize, when people are in love, sometimes they tend to believe the person they love. And there are times in our number where even girls who were being abused opened up to their moms that their stepfathers were abusing them, and the parents were the woman in question didn't believe it. They chose to stay with the man, or for want of a better word, they said you didn't have evidence. So this is the case where your sister is, she's not a child. So whatever she's doing, she knows what she's doing. I don't know the sort of influence your stepdad has over her. Maybe it's a case of power and control. She's probably doing it because he has coerced her to do it, or is a consensual relationship that is going on. Either way, you've made it very clear that you don't want to be the one to say it. Apart from your stepfather, who else does your mom listen to? That's the first person I would consider to open up to with the evidence, because your mom needs to know this is not your secret to keep. This is not a burden for you to keep. It is unnecessary, and it's undue in this case, and I foresee some psychological problems coming with it, because having to see your stepdad and your sister live in action in the same room with you, thinking you are asleep. And for me, it's just the balls that he has to be having sex whilst the wife is in the house and you are in the room. You're not even safe with this man in the house. So for me, the approach is get evidence, find someone that your mom respects. I don't know if she's religious or even if it's the same family or her best friend or an auntie to the family, and present this evidence and issue to her, someone you believe she will listen to. So you should be very careful about how you select someone who can keep this confidential information within the family, because this is not something that you want all over the neighborhood or all over the church, that this is what your stepdad is doing. So first of all, find evidence, someone she respects, open up to her, and you also seek psychological help, because this is big. Live action, right when you are in the room, between two people who are supposed to be family, blood related. I mean, it's through marriage, but once you live with your stepfather, you start seeing him as a father figure. So don't jump into any conclusions. For all you know, your sister is even being coerced into this relationship as you see it. So I wouldn't jump the gun, but the information is not yours to keep. Your mom needs to know.
Ceci, you agree?
Totally. Totally. I'm afraid it's going to have to come to you. I mean, come from you, because she's your sister and you need to protect her. So, yes, I think because these things are very sensitive, you should get evidence. I know that in our traditional setting, it's going to look like you are disgracing somebody, but it's better the disgrace is on the family than for it to go out and go and happen somewhere. Because if he's able to do this in the house, then that means eventually the family is going to hear something that has happened outside. So nip it in the bud. Find a way of telling your mom, if you can go directly, because if it doesn't come directly from you, then who is it going to come from? That will show how serious the matter is. You should tell her, but get the evidence. If right now you know the timetable, you know it is every other night or every other whatever. So maybe you can plant a camera or something so that you take a video, or maybe sleep strategically and take a picture or something. Maybe that'll be too much work. But if you can plant the camera in such a way that it will take some footage, however short, however, at least you get some evidence in there, then you present it either to your mom or to some, because I have a feeling that if your stepfather is very, very influential, your mom might bury it, depending on the influence he has. Okay, because there are some women who see these things. There are mothers that look on for fathers to abuse their daughters, and they keep it quiet. Okay, so if you are not too sure about the influence that your stepfather has over your mom, and you think that she might bury it for fear of disgracing, maybe they'll say that, oh, maybe you are disgracing him or something of the sort, you can tell a trusted family member, somebody who is unbiased, someone who would try as much as possible to nip this in the bud, because your sister is too young. You need to protect her. It's your responsibility to protect her, because already you should have been spilling it by now, because right now, Charlie, it's serious, because since the time that you saw the thing 2 weeks ago, and it has been happening. Okay, and then we are now getting this memo. So please, plant a camera, get evidence. And if you know the timetable so well, maybe you can tell your mom to come in at the time that is going to happen or is happening. So that's why I'm emphasizing on the fact that if you think your mom is firm enough, okay, to confront this issue as you would want it to be confronted, then tell her directly. But if not, tell a trusted family member. If you don't want to tell her directly, because right now that's your problem. You are finding out ways of telling her without it coming from you directly. No problem. Just find somebody, present the evidence, then they deal with this matter. Because
Gil.
Desperate time calls for desperate measures. So I won't even sugarcoat anything, and I'm not going to gingerly deal with the whole situation. First of all, I don't know how the one brought the story, her relationship is with her mom, because when you have that easiness with your mom, you can talk to her about anything. So she wouldn't doubt you. You don't have to now go for evidence and all those things. If you're able to tell your mom everything, you should be able to just let her know. This is what I found, because you said you saw messages from January. So it's been going on for months, and then they are talking about it like somebody in a relationship. So obviously your sister 16 is not matured mentally to even know what's going on. She must have been coerced into it, but then she might be enjoying it, not knowing what she's doing. Because 16, now today's 16, they are still babies in my eyes. Today, this day and age, the kids who are 16 don't know anything, but how you're going to bring your mom in is what's everything stands on your mom, because your mom is responsible for two of you. Forget about the man, but the kids, she's responsible for them and has placed them in this situation where she's unaware of. She doesn't even know what's going on, and that says a lot. Because I don't know if you even talk to your kids. I know I said maybe I don't know what the kind of relationship they had this before, but then it also another way lets me know that maybe you guys don't have
that's bond.
Yes, where even you can even tell if there's something wrong with your daughter. You see body language.
Yes.
You live in the same house. You definitely you can't hide that. How should the man relate to the girl? You can tell, so you yourself you also have to be discerning enough. So it's what's going on in that house?
Probably just like a busy mom or
something. You're not seeing anything, but let me not bash her too much. But now you found out the information, and you just have to let her know about it. And like I agree with what you said, that if you can bring the mom in, like when you see that the man comes into the room and you think he's about to do whatever, maybe you can plan with your mom. Tell your mom that this is, so your mom has to listen to you as well, not be like, okay, you said this, so you're a bad kid, shut up, and this is my husband. Don't do that. If they tell you this was going, okay, fine, let's, trap him or something. So when he comes into the room, just find maybe your phone or something. There should be a way, just let me know.
And the parents are in the same room.
And then you also said
when he gets up.
And you also said when the guy came into the room the other time, you could have caught him, but you just turned and then you were there and the guy hid and left. You could have screamed or something. Everybody's in the house. Hey, their mother will come and find out, what are you doing in the room then? Then you say, let them check the phone. It has to be desperate. There's nothing like, tell him, is the girl an investigator or something to go and get a camera and check all these things. Scream. So you do that. Your mom is in the other room. She will hear it.
Right.
She's definitely going to come and see for herself. That's what I think. I don't think there's any way around it.
In fact, coming from your mouth, from where I sit, adds more authenticity to the story.
And gravity, exactly.
You're in the room with your sister. You understand? So, I'm sorry.
I even have goosebumps.
Yes,
it's
I
just,
think
the story is
you
just
should report your stepdad
to
to your mom. We'll bring in some comments. Fafa says, hey, some of these sons of Adam. Kojo says, you should have caught them red-handed when he first came into your room. Yeah. You're an accomplice until you let the cat out of the bag. Dennis says, 16 years? He has to be arrested. What kind of behavior is that? Sleeping with mother and daughter? P says, talk to your sister first and get to know why she's doing that. Let your stepdad know that you know what he's doing. Take a screenshot of their conversation on your sister's WhatsApp as evidence before you take any action. Dorf says, sorry, it has to come from you, dear. Tell your mom. But I think you should talk to your sister too and know how the abomination started. Hertie says, take a video of them in the act, clearly showing them. Then broach the subject with your mom, in which you make insinuations that you think your stepdad is cheating on her, and get her reaction. Then after a few days, send her the video anonymously. Everything will unfold from that point. Your sister may be too far gone to listen to you, and you could be hurt by the man, so involve your mother first.